Financial Freedom Now show. My name is Toyin Ayandare, and I'm your usual host on this lovely program. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week. I cannot do this without you. I love the fact that you continue to tune in, you share, you like, you subscribe. Absolutely right up my street, and I cannot thank you enough. So today I want to discuss something very interesting, and I say interesting because this has been my journey for the last few years. We're going to be talking about breaking free from the rat race, how you can achieve your financial independence. Now, of course, you know, we're doing all things financial freedom on this show. We talk about how you can actually achieve that freedom. And today I want to actually talk about you breaking free from the rat race. Now, a few years ago, well over 10 years ago, I broke free from the rat race and I decided to go do my own thing. And I don't know if that's something on your radar, but if that is, I just want to share with you a few things to consider, a few steps I'd say to sort of consider that would help you on that journey. And now, when you say rat race, what does that actually mean? I think it's a term that's been coined for people living their 9 to 5 or just going through cycles that feels like they're sort of repeating the whole process and not necessarily getting the full satisfaction. Please do not take this to mean that you need to leave your job. Everyone cannot leave the job. We need the doctors, we need the teachers, so absolutely not insinuating that at all. However, if there's a desire, there's an entrepreneurial spirit in you, or you know that there's something else you've been called to and you'd like to, but you've just not been able to place your place your fingers on how you can make this a reality, I thought I'll come on here to share you key steps that could help you do that, as well as share a bit of my own journey, because I took this step a few years ago, like I said, over 10 years ago. So I want to share with you how you can make this work. And the idea of this is to make sure that you don't get trapped in cycles of debt, cycles of work, and you feel upset with yourself, and you feel like you're limited in terms of what you can do or what you want to do. Now, my own journey started, I think it's about 12-13 years ago now, and I had wanted, when I gave birth to my first child, I desired to be an intentional parent, to be more available. And when I had my first child, I didn't have the opportunity to do that at the time. And so what I did was, by the time my second child was born, or when she was pregnant, I started nursing the idea again. My first child was starting school, but I knew if I did not do it, then it would probably be a very difficult thing to do going forward. So what did I do? I used the opportunity that I was going to have a second child, and I stopped myself from all the excuses and decided to take that leap. Now, these are the key steps I followed, and I think you should as well. First thing is, I want you to evaluate your financial health. What does that look like? What are the costs that you need to incur on a weekly, monthly basis? What does that look like? What's your financial income, your financial health? Look at all of the expenses, and when I say look at the expenses, especially for married people, I find people making this mistakes thinking it's only their own cost. It's the whole family's cost, so the whole household cost. What does that look like? What's your current income? What debts do you have? How much savings do you have? All of this information put together would help you make an informed decision. I don't want you to do this prematurely at all, so we need to make sure it's the right time. So evaluate your financial health is the first thing you need to do. The second thing is you need to set long-term goals. Absolutely important that you do in defining your financial freedom and goals, that you set long-term goals. Now, I would say I didn't necessarily do this, but if you're looking to, but if you're in the position you're listening to me right now, then you can actually set long-term goals on when you want to achieve this, what dates, what you want in place by the time you. I mean, it's almost, I always say that just try and get like a trigger. How much income do I want? How much savings do I want in there to actually be for? And that will set as a trigger to make this. What exactly do I want to do when I leave my 9 to 5, if that's what you want to do? What exactly does that look like? What are the plans I need to put in place? And all those things. Just set those goals way ahead of the time you want to make this move. I didn't do that. Like I said, I was in a position where to be honest, I'd lost the idea for 3 years before I did it. And when I eventually did it, just like it was a case of, this is another opportunity. If I don't do it now, now, then I probably would never do it. So I took the opportunity, and thankfully it worked. But you right now, if you're still in the process of thinking about it, then set a long term doesn't necessarily mean it has to be years in advance. It could be months, but just set some long term goals of what you want to do, and just sort of shaping that. It's almost like, let's get a diagram around it. Let's know what that's going to look like. The third thing you want to do is make sure, this is number one. Whilst you're in that job, make sure you set up passive income streams. Now, I know I talk about evaluating your financial strategy and to know what that looks like, and I've also talked about having long-term goals. But what you want to do right now is make sure you start building passive financial income sources. It is passive income sources absolutely key. Now you have the opportunity of buying real estate. So I'm a real estate developer, property developer, a property investor. So I have income coming in from my property portfolio. You can, whilst you're still at your 9 to 5, still in the rat race, start building that income right there and there. Now, so once you're able to build that income now, it means that it gives you the flexibility, right, that when you come off, you know that there is still an income source. So yes, you might have a large savings, but the savings is not going to take you forever. So having the right income source in place, and passive income source that is going to keep dripping, and things like you do, like I said, property investment, rental, your rental property portfolio can be something you consider. You can look at stocks and shares, build online businesses. This is the online age right now. I say, if you don't have an online asset or an intellectual asset that's making you money, then you're missing the trick. So that is something you need to also consider. So those are big things you can short income, passive income. So, but there are a whole lot that you can consider. Lastly, I want you to know that when you are gonna make the leap, it is the time to minimize your lifestyle inflation. We cannot afford, in the first few months of you becoming an entrepreneur, or whatever it is that you've chosen to do, living your rat race. That's not going to influence, that's not going to sort of take on new costs. So you've got to minimize your lifestyle choices at that point in time. Now, you might not necessarily take anything out, but just keep it at that level. That's not the time to start increasing. And if you know that that's the time the child is starting school, or the child is going to nursery, or there's going to be a new cost, so you're moving houses, your mortgage interest is increasing, all of those things, then you've got to have accounted for that. Give yourself time to settle into that new terrain. Once you've got comfortable, then you can start making other moves. So this is the time to minimize. Don't start going in a shopping spree, because you've got all the time to yourself now, and you just want to take yourself and enjoy all of those afternoon teas with your friends. It is good, and there will be time for it, but not just now. So those are the 4 things I'll share with you in terms of how you can take the first steps towards setting your financial freedom goals and helping you make that leap from the rat race and breaking free from the rat race. Now, please notice, as I said again, breaking free from the rat race doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving your job. It's just from the cycles of debt. It could be breaking free from the cycles of debt. It could be breaking free from limited financial freedom, breaking free from the work ethic that doesn't best serve you. I hope that that's been very beneficial for you. As usual, my name is Toyin. If there's any way I can help you, I'm a property investor, a business coach. If there's anything I can do to help you in that journey, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. The channels you can reach out to me is just written in the description below. Can I ask a favor, please? I know I do this regularly, but today it is absolutely different. Can I ask that you share this show with at least one person? That would really go a long way. I really do appreciate your continued commitment to the Financial Freedom Now Show. Until next time, my name is Toyin Ayandare. God bless you.